Good evening. My name is Christopher Wood, and for my last and final public speaking speech, I will be giving my opinion as to why I feel high schoolers should pursue an early college high school versus a traditional 4 year high school. Um, Early college high school is basically a high school located on a college campus. The one that I attend is located on a community college campus, but there are different schools for different states and different areas. When applying to early college, you want to have in the back of your mind three things. Um, are you able to be committed to something that is long term? Are you going to be dependable when it comes to not only doing your own work but to helping other students out with projects, or keep making sure you can be dependable, that kind of thing. And the last thing you want to have in your mind is, am I really going to do this? And I'll explain what that means later. When applying to early college, you apply online. You just fill out a simple form. Your name, where you're from, phone number, parents' name, phone number, and you just tell as to why you want to go to early college. How do you feel you can benefit early college if you are accepted? And when you're accepted, you have to go through interviews, which are fairly easy. They basically ask you, why do you feel you should be accepted, or simple questions like, what's your favorite number, what's your favorite color, what fruit would you describe yourself, and why. It's fairly simple. And if you are lucky enough to get accepted, you get an acceptance letter inviting you to come out to week-long orientation at the school, which is kind of cool, because you get to do trust-building exercises, become familiar with the campus before you apply, or before you attend in the fall. You meet teachers, current students, old students, future students, which will be the freshmen that's already there. It's really fun. A lot of people apply to early college for the wrong reasons. Some of which are, you get to kind of wear whatever you want within reason. We do have more freedom than the traditional high school. And when I say that, I mean, since we are on a college campus, we really don't have a set schedule for every single class. So different students with different classes, may have more leeway versus, at the traditional high school. At the traditional high school, they are basically on a set schedule where each student has to be at a certain place at a certain time. But at the school I attend, which will be the early college, I may have a class at 10:45, and my grade may be already in a high school class at maybe 10:41, and I may have to leave that class early to attend a college class. So it's the schedule is really jumbled up, but we really, in layman terms, have a lot of freedom. As for the curriculum, I can say so far it's not as been as hard as you would think. Being in an early college, you would think, well, not only am I in high school, but I'm also in college, which means that's more work. Which is true, there is more work, but for the most part, the college classes aren't as hard as you would think. Basically, to me personally, it would be the high school classes which would be the hardest, because the teachers have to teach you more than the traditional high school, because you only have each class for either certain semester or that certain year, and we don't really have a lot of teachers at my school, so certain teachers teach different age groups. So it will be half the teachers teach 9th through 10th, the other half will teach 11th through 12th and 13, or vice versa. So I would say the high school curriculum part is more strenuous than the college. College instructors aren't as strict as high school instructors are, because on the college side they expect you to already be an adult because you're taking college courses. They treat you a certain type of way as if you are an adult. They won't make sure that you take notes. They won't make sure that you do the work, because to them, you're on their time. They already have their degree and their credentials, and it's up to you to get yours. So that's something that you kind of want to take into account. Am I going to be able to be self-reliant? Can I study on my own? Can I complete assignments on my own, or can I be responsible for my own grade? Many of the college instructors are there to help you. You do have an advisor and a liaison. So you're not all alone at the school, And if you do have a problem, you can contact your college instructor or get in contact with one of the staff at my school, and they can try to get you connected to that instructor if you can't do it on your own. So you're not all alone at my school. It's just the school makes you grow up. It makes you more mature mentally. Coming from middle school, we're kind of babied a lot. Teachers kind of hold our hands, and they make sure that we understand and make sure that we study and make the grade. But at the early college, it's not only just a regular high school, it's a college. So the high school side sometimes will baby you and make sure that you have what you need, but as you get older, the teachers they seem to sometimes back off, and and if you're not already used to managing your own time, managing your own classes, making sure that you can function on your own, then you kind of be lost when they actually they take their hands off you completely. A lot of my friends at the high school, they think that I kind of work too hard because we all at the early college high school, as you get older, you'll find that you constantly are doing work. And it may not even be for high school, it may be for college, or it may be vice versa. But in a way, I'm used to working more because I'm used to doing 4 or 5 page papers overnight, or typing one page in under 30 minutes. It's become second nature to many of us, especially me. I can say that it has helped me become more confident in writing and asking questions, and taking the extra incentive to getting higher grades, or to making sure that I have the information I need to pass the next test. In middle school, you really don't have a lot of things to worry about when it comes to passing tests, because you have friends that's already they're going to be 9 times out of 10 in the same class as you, or teachers that make sure sometimes they'll help you out or to give you extra credit. But in the early college, you really don't have that necessarily. Starting out, you will be in a lot of college classes with your best friends or the kids that are in your grade, because they want to start you off with easy classes. They kind of ease you into the program. But as you get older and take different classes, and according to your compass results, you will eventually space yourself out. Well, where sometimes you only may be having 1 or 2 classes with your best friend, or you may not even have any classes with your best friend because your schedules are so different. One downside I can say to early college is the fact that we have to take a compass test, and this compass test is basically a test that provides leeway into certain classes that you need to take in order to graduate with your associate's degree. The test is composed of 3 separate parts. You have reading, writing, and science. I'm sorry, reading, writing, and mathematics. If you are able to pass all 3, you basically you really have no problems. You can take all the classes that you need, such as like your English classes, your literature classes, and that one math class that you actually need. At my school, they really stress you to pass the reading and writing parts, because even though they are separate, they go together for you making sure you have all your English classes out the way. So therefore, when you get to the traditional the traditional college or university, you already have those classes out the way. And as for math, if you pass it only opens up one math class for you to take at the school. So they really don't stress the math compass as much as they do the reading and writing. If you aren't able to pass the compass test, at a certain point, they kind of stop expecting you to pass it, because, say for instance, for most compass tests, they recommend you to pass it at least by your sophomore to early junior year for you to be able to stay on track to get your associate's degree on time. For many students, it takes them 4 or 5, sometimes even 7 tries to pass the compass test. But if you don't pass the compass test within the first 2 to 3.5 years of you being at early college, you can already half time assume that you're not going to graduate on time. And that doesn't mean you necessarily won't get your associate's degree. It just means you won't be graduating with your class. So you may be there for the extra 5 year or the extra semester. So, in closing out, I just want to say, when applying to early college, you should have in the back of your mind whether or not you're actually going to be able to put everything on the line for a degree that you may or may not get on time. Are you going to be able to be patient with not only you but others around you? Are you going to be able to be committed to the curriculum and staying up late at night studying, making sure that you pass your classes and tests? Because in the long run, it may seem hard now, but 2, 4, 5 years from now, when you already graduated and in your career, you would look back on those days and would laugh and be like, well, I had nothing to be worried about, because it's all working up to you getting the career in your field. So it may seem hard now, but in the future, you can look back and laugh. It wasn't really that bad. The college classes, basically, they're really not that difficult. They just push you to think, and they push you to be more self-reliant. So you should take all those things into account when you decide whether or not you want to apply to early college. So once again, my name is Christopher Wood, and I thank you for listening to my speech.